Here we have an AeroFog unit that was returned to us broken. This is a pesticide sprayer, and it appears that the hose connection broke off at the handle. So we're going to take it apart and find out why, and then fix it. So evidently the hose pulled out of the compression fitting. This is a very hard plastic. This is the compression fitting. This is the nut. And when this is tightened down, the compression fitting is driven into a small taper, and the body circles around the plastic to form a seal. But sometimes, especially if you tighten it too much, it cuts into the hose, forms a weak spot, and that can cause a break. But this looks like maybe it wasn't tightened enough, and it just pulled right out. So we're going to cut it off clean, put a new fitting on, and try it again. Take the egg shape out of that. And the trick really with this is to keep this hose pushed in, because if you kind of let it slack, the hose is going to come out, you're going to tighten it down, you think you're going to have it, and you're not going to have it. So if there's any trick to it, that's the trick. Wand held lightly in the vise. We have the spring, and then the nut, and then the ferrule. Put the ferrule in, put the nut on, maintain pressure on the blue hose as we thread the nut down. But tighten it firmly. Important thing, when you're done, we're going to give it a pull, because if it comes out now, we can redo it. What we don't want to do is think it's done and then have somebody get out in the field using it, and then it pulls out, and then we've wasted everybody's time. So I'm giving this a good hard pull, not coming out, feel it a little bit more. Again, not crushing it. Now we'll test it. And we're back in business. Many times the nozzle got clogged up with some foreign matter. This is actually an instrument. The holes are a specific size. You get a clog and you start to work a paper clip in here or a drill bit, any kind of metal, frankly. This is relatively soft brass material. If you work a hard metal, it's going to egg it out. It's going to enlarge the hole, and you're going to be applying a lot more material than is intended. So what I like to do is replace the Viton gasket. It gets corrupted and you'll have a leak here. It's a very inexpensive piece. This just sits in a recess. You replace that, and then this nozzle, you can look up at a light and see if the holes are clear. I like to use a loop. You look down into the hole. One of the holes has a piece of foreign matter lodged in it. It doesn't take much to clog these things up. So if you have any kind of debris in your tank, if you're filling from an unclean source and you get a small piece of dirt, it's going to wind up getting in this nozzle. And so what I like to do is take a very, very fine tool that you use for a cutting torch, and with that, most of the time you can gently remove that foreign matter without doing damage. First I'll try to rinse it out with water, and then I'll use a little bit of compressed air. After putting safety glasses on, we'll use a little bit of compressed air, we'll blow that out, and now we'll check it again with the loop. Put a white background, it's easy to see through it. Just put that nozzle back on, we'll test it. That's the fan, that's the fine pin stream. Coarse fan, and then you have a large pin stream, and that's it. And you're back in business. Just take a paint pen and just write a small note. Done.